Hello and welcome to this review for the new DX Kyoryujin full articulation. Now, the way that I'm interpreting it, especially in this review going forward, will be it's like a nicer version of the Megazord that we got in the Dinocharge show. So I was a big fan of that design. So for me, this is really fun. While this toy is done for the for the Sentai series, I mean, any fan in the West can just import it to have it in their Power Rangers collection too. So that's how I'm seeing it, and that's how I'll be reviewing it with the names. I don't know all the names of the Sentai series. Sorry about that. I will go through to show you what the value is and compare it to the Western version, the Western original version of this from Bandai of America. All right, so we'll get to it. So if you're curious, this is what the box looks like. And one thing that was interesting to me is that there were no instructions inside. So I was like, did I get the wrong thing from Amazon Japan? No, I did not. I got the right thing because, I'll flip this up a little bit. I don't know if you see it, but they actually have a web address for the manual. So now the manuals are all online. And yeah, what you see I'll put this here. We do see in the back of the box that this can actually combine with the, we'll call it Megazord, since I don't know all the words too well, the Megazord of this series, right, of the current Sentai series. I don't have it, I will not be showing you that. However, I will show you what you have to do if you had these extra pieces to combine it, because that is an extra functionality that this toy has that the original and the Western release does not. All right, so now we'll compare the T-Rex. Well, first I'll show you what the T-Rex were. The whole point is the articulation. Usually I don't go through the articulation in my videos since they've been covered elsewhere, but in this point, it's all about articulation. So here we have the T-Rex Lord, and yeah, he turns connected. It turns at several angles. This was like in the original too, but this part here is fully new. And inside, yeah, this is made as a collector figure, so there's not really the toy component is more of the transformation aspect. Aside from that, there's nothing to plug in. This is how it is. And the other big point of articulation in this mode, this is the same as the Western release, which I'll show you. The big point of articulation would be the feet, which can articulate entirely. It's with a ball joint. So yes, there's a bit more articulation in this mode, but this is not the mode where all the articulation will be happening. And we do have the head here. I'll bring the other one just to show you what I'm going to refer to here. So this is the Western release, and yeah, wherever you could see a big difference with the quality is the lack of paint on this toy. That's always been the case between the Japanese Sentai version and the Power Rangers from Bandai of America. That's always been the case. So we're not going to go too much on it. This will always have better paint. In this case, better articulation too. Like I said, no gimmicks, so there's none of this happening in this toy. And one thing that I do find this better is that I do think that the way the T-Rex sword looks is a bit better, especially in this part here. So this actually looks smooth. Looks like there's no, like it's just a continuation for the form of the T-Rex. And here we don't have the head as visible. But in this case, here, like I said, oh yeah, you can tell he's a bit bigger too. But in this case, we have this protruding from the back. It doesn't look as I don't know, as well done to me. And we have the head right here, which is a bummer. However, what you can do is you can take the head, and it's on a ball joint. There's no breakage issues, and you could just store it in there, which is where the head on the other one stores. Here. So if you think that looks better, well then great. This has been problem solved. And I think it does. So that's how I'm dealing with it. Okay, now for the other ones. Here they are. I'll bring this down a bit. Okay, so we've got the Triceratops Zord and the Stegozord, or Stegosaurus, one or the other. Anyways, Blue Ranger, Pink Ranger, all right? And comparing, well, the T-Rex looks slightly bigger with this new DX. In this case, it's like a total opposite when it comes to the smaller swords. So this is how they compare. This is the ones that comes with the DX version. This is the ones that came with the Western release of the original Dinocharge. And what we got here is that in terms of articulation, these are actually slightly better because they do have this articulation, while these don't. However, these are more quality. I mean, this is bigger. Bigger doesn't always mean better. I'll give you a quick example. Just looking at the paint, you see here the way that Bandai of America used to do it is that to skimp on paint, like the only paint is like here and here. To skimp on paint, they would take the yellow molded part and just stick it onto the blue. While here what they do is that since you want to have the yellow and you don't, excuse me, you would have the whole thing molded yellow and then painted blue to make it work with the rest of the figure. So what we see here is just like showing you that this is actually painted here, right? And of course, you'll see it, well, I'll do it now. But so when we'll transform them, I guess, yeah, transforming. It's not much of a transformation. But in this case, this guy here, this comes off. And it is the Western release, and it couldn't form the shield that it does in the show. And here, when you lift it up, it looks more like a Q-tip than it not a Q-tip. Sorry, it looks more like like a needle or something small instead of like an actual real cool sword. While this one, if you do remove it, two things. One, it becomes a shield, like in the show, and you actually get a nice full sword. So this, to me, looks way better. I'll close this up, sorry. See, so this is even longer than this guy, even though this guy's bigger. So this was never that great. Okay, I'll take this out of the way. This is transformed, put it to the side. Now when it comes to the Triceratops, what I always found funny about the Western release is that he's got his horn, well, or she, I'm not sure what the gender of Triceratops is. It's a robot. In any case, its horns are both in the front and the back. Because when it transforms, the horns are supposed to be here. It flips, and I'll show it you right here. The original Sentai version did it, and this DX version does it as well. I mean, this full articulated DX version does as well. So what you do here is that to transform it, you take this and you flip it there. All right? So that's what creates this look that they're imitating. However, I mean, obviously when he does that, it doesn't have it sticking out on this side, while this one has it both. So once again, never been great. There was a mechanism here where it was spring-loaded. This does not. Like I said, this is mainly the whole thing. The gimmick is just a transformation for this full articulated version. I mean that, and of course, the fact that it's articulated. So you just do it manually, and it locks in. So then you get the look that you need for the transformation. The last thing to do is you take this and you flip it up. That's where it's going to enter. And I do find that better than this version, which looked like this. I find this more aesthetically pleasing. And I'll do the same with him. So this is all transformed. Now, to transform our friend here, take this out. You can just open it. There you go, it's opened. This part here does not need to be flipped. I'll do it anyway, just to show you the functionality. You do it so that you can merge it with the other Zords that I had shown you for the current Sentai series. And you're gonna flip these down. This will go plug in the back. I'll leave this here for now. I'm gonna put the head back, of course. Oh, there you go. It's simple, I was just doing it the wrong place. It's hard to see with the camera in between. Good. Now what we're gonna do here is, I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but you can already see the functionality, the extra functionality in this one for that other mode, is that these here are hands, and this will come into play in the final version that I'll show you. But in any case, for now, what you do is, it's a lot like the previous version. So you're gonna bring this down. Turn it. Now there are buttons here to bring this down. And they lock, so you can't put it back. This camera will definitely need to move back a bit and go up. And here he is. He's it's not, I mean, these were never tough transformations. Here he is. Now, we're gonna plug in his arms. So this will go here. And it plugs in really well. It's nice and tight. That is an issue I had with the other one. The other one, the connection was looser, at least on my version. And we'll do it here too. And I'll start with the, oh wait, you know what? I'm wrong about this. And that's the tricky part. Because this actually is articulated, you have to remember that the positioning of the elbow. So if I want, there you go, that's better, right? That's fun. So that's just something you don't think of right away because, yeah, this is the full articulated version. And that's what it's all about. That's the reason why I paid for this toy. You know what? I'm gonna... No, what am I doing? Not smart. There you go. Much better. And I will start with the shield look. So I'll bring this down. I love being able to finally give it the shield look. And this is him for now. Wait, what am I doing? Of course not. You gotta plug this in. So, similarly the other one, these plug in there. Simple stuff. And here he is, in all his glory. And yeah, he has amazing articulation. So I showed you the elbows. Sorry, these elbows. So you know, you do have the shoulder joint here too, and you have a butterfly joint. So on both. So let's say I want to have the sword pose. I can bring this in. And it could look a bit like he's holding the sword, you know, as you want to do, if you want. Bring this. Are we good? Yes, we're good. We'll bring to the side. Just want to bring you the Western release, the original Western release. So we're gonna have this here. Won't be long. And you can see the differences. See, the head was stored here. See, no confusion for me since it was only one way. All right. And I'll bring them together. Okay. So yeah, he's a brick. That's what you expected, and he's not. And in terms of their overall look, yes, there is more paint here, as you can see it. There's more paint definitely in this area, and there's more paint to the sides as well. So painting's good. So it's basically just, you know, what we're used to with the Sentai series. The Sentai version will be better in paint, but in this case also better in terms of articulation. And what's fun is that because there is less functionality, especially compared to the Bandai of America version, there's no ports on the side, right? This was for their Zord configuration. This is more of like the final piece, which is why I wasn't compelled to get the other Sentai series mech that it can interact with. Now I'm going to compare it to something else to show you. So this is, like I said, a collector version of a previous Sentai mech. And I'm going to compare it to a collector version of a previous Power Ranger, the Dragon Zord, previous Ranger Zord. The reason I'm doing the comparison is because this toy is half the price of this toy. Now, is it fair to compare? I think it's fair to compare. I mean, you could see definitely that there's a lot more going on with the Dragon Zord in terms of decode, in terms of paint. But in terms of, honestly, in terms of functionality, it's not as much. This does have that no, I wasn't say that's the extra conversion. They both honestly convert as much. They both have their, we'll say, robot. If I'm also a Transformers fan, so they would have their robot mode, their alt mode, and that extra third mode. So in terms of functionality, they're all about the same. This has more articulation, it's supposed to. But honestly, I find I get a lot more value with this guy here. So I'm very happy with my purchase. If you're wondering what it was, this was about $80 USD on Amazon Japan. And it shipped in like 3 days. That's really fun. I'll just take him out of the way. It's just a quick comparison. So that's him. Now, before I leave you, I'll show you that extra mode that it has. It's not even complete since I don't have the Zord, but I'll show you. So I'll do this. Oh yeah, one little bit of functionality. I'm gonna do it now. While this came off, right, for the sword, the shield, this can come off too. There might be a functionality to it that I'm unaware of, but it's not like it. I know with the Hasbro releases, you could change, like, for example, the Ankylosaurus and have it on the Stegosaurus. In this case, it doesn't really add much to it, but I just wanted to show it to you too. All right. Now, the other thing it does is that you would remove this, and you would have the insect Zords be the feet. These would become the hands for this mech. And I'll show the transformation. So it's very simple. So that's basically it. Do the other one too. I believe, I'll check. I believe you have to rotate. Yeah, you have to rotate the fist as well. And then all you do is you plug it in. We can do the other ones. So that's the thing when there's added articulation. Now things can go which way, any which way. All right, so that's the third mode. Of course, you have to imagine that it does have feet, supported by feet, but just show you what the look is with the top. I think it's quite inelegant, especially with how giant these forearms become, but it's an option. All right. So there you go. That was the review. I hope you have a great day. Bye.